Hey there, it's Crystal Lopez here from crystalincome.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make homemade beef lo mein using leftover hamburger patties. You're not going to believe this. So first I want you to grab your favorite stir fry frozen blend, some soy sauce or amino acids, and some noodles, and then those hamburger patties. All right, so we're going to turn it into something like this. You just wait and see how easy this is to make. Dinner can be done in like 20 minutes or less. All right, first get a pot of water and fill it up, put it on the stove, and we want to bring that to a boil. That's what we're going to briefly dip our noodles into to kind of get them to separate. So get that going. You could add some salt to the water if you want to. All right, in the wok, or you could just do this in a traditional skillet or in a Dutch oven, doesn't matter. I'm using the wok because we have it, and I thought, why not? We're going to take 3 to 4 of those leftover hamburger patties, and we're just going to break them up. There's a little bit of olive oil in there. We're going to break them up. That's going to make it a little bit easier to kind of chop these down. We're also going to add some water. I added like a half a cup, a fourth to a half a cup of water. That's just going to help really soften and moisten that meat so that we can break it down with that food chopper really easily. It'll create some steam, and that just helps make it softer. It's a little bit of a process, guys. You just got to keep going. The longer that this sits there in that water, it's going to break down a little bit easier. Something else I suppose I could have done is run it through the food processor with this S-shaped blade, and that would have chopped it up really well too. But you don't have to do that. Did you see that? That was Bubbles. They were also loading the dishwasher, and Jack was making bubbles with the container of dish soap, and bubbles were flying everywhere. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get this in our food. Stop. Okay, so once we get this meat nicely chopped into small pieces, we're going to put our produce in there. I'm using some frozen broccoli, water chestnuts, and carrots. I know those look like potatoes. The kids thought they were potatoes too, but it's water chestnuts. Now, you could totally use a bag of fresh veggies from like over in the produce department where they come bagged with stir-fry veggies. You could use that. You could chop up some cabbage. You could do your own mix of stuff. You could use whatever extra vegetables you have in your fridge left over from some sheet pan sides that you've made. Use whatever you have on hand. I had a bunch of produce one time left recently, earlier this month, left over from a vegetable tray, and I used all of that. Like, use what you have. But since I didn't have any veggies that were just hanging out, I used this frozen bag that I bought. You could, if you only had broccoli, just put broccoli in. Whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, so we're going to put that in, and then you saw that I added in a little bit of the coconut aminos. You could totally use soy sauce too. I have finally emptied that container out. So I added a little bit of those coconut aminos directly onto the meat mixture and stirred that up really good. And then now I'm going to take the last bit that's in the jar. That's a 4-cup measuring cup. So there's probably a half a cup to a cup of coconut aminos there. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of cornstarch just so that we can make a little bit of a thickening agent here that is also flavorful with the coconut aminos. We're going to whisk that together, and then that's going to get added to this, to, like I said, to add flavor and to just kind of thicken. So we're going to do that real quick. That poor sad whisk got stuck in the drawer. It goes in these containers that are on my counter there. But somebody put it in the drawer, and then it got stuck when somebody opened the drawer, and now one of the whisk blade pieces, the wire pieces, is all messed up. I have had that whisk for probably 15 years or longer. I've probably had it for 20 years. I've had it for a very long time. And so now it's got this like crazy part of it that's like pulled away from the rest of the wires. Anyway, all right. So back in this pan where the water is boiling, we're going to take those noodles, we're going to dump them in, we're going to discard the seasoning packs. We're not going to use those. These are ramens that my kids begged me to buy at Costco probably 6 months ago, and then they hated them because they were too spicy, my little kids. So I thought, you know what? This is a great way to use those up. It's a win-win. Leftover hamburger patties, ramen that needs to be used because it's expiring and no one's eating it. So here we go. So we're going to put that in here, and I just want it to boil long enough for those noodles to start breaking apart and to unfold, you know, because they're folded in there. It does not take long at all. And then we're just going to dump them right into this wok or your skillet or pan. And start mixing it all together. Super, super easy. It's a little messy, I know, but you could also, if you don't have any of the soy sauce left over, like you've used all your soy sauce, you could use teriyaki sauce. You could use whatever, you could use Worcestershire sauce, or you could just use the broth now, the starchy water that's here from those noodles cooking. You could use a little bit of that and add a little bit of cornstarch to it. That cornstarch is what's going to help it thicken. So you do you. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy a bunch of new groceries just to use up these the leftover meat, right? If you didn't have these noodles, you could do this with rice. 100% make beef fried rice using leftover hamburger patties. It's doable. It can be done. All right. We do want to get all of this mixed together, and then we're going to dump that coconut amino and cornstarch mixture in here and just kind of let it simmer. So after just like 2 to 3 minutes, you can see how the color is darker. It's really absorbed that soy sauce or coconut aminos, and it's flavorful and delicious. We're going to put it into bowls and serve it up. And there you have it. Dinner is done. This was so fast. So tell me, what are your favorite ways to use up leftover hamburger patties? I want to hear your creative ideas, and tell me what you put in your homemade lo mein or fried rice. I want to know. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with us, and we'll see you in the next video. Watch one of these other videos where I show you how to make homemade fried rice and where I show you how to save on your grocery budget. See you next time.